Okay, next, I believe we have Melanie, right? So where are you calling in from, Melanie?
Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Oh, okay, not too far away.
Yeah.
So now I remember you telling me that you had in the email that you submitted that you were diagnosed with Lyme disease, but you don't quite fit all the protocols, and therefore, not surprisingly, sometimes the meds don't work that well. You kind of get these, halfway results. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And so it was in 2012. Do you remember what was happening in 2011 going into 2012? Was there unusual stressors?
Well, I will say in 2010, I started running because I was overweight from having two children and not spending a lot of time moving. So I started running. It was something I could do while they were in dance or gymnastics or whatever.
Mhm.
And throughout 2010 and 2011, I built up to running 4 half marathons in
Oh
that,
my goodness.
in
Okay.
that 1 year. So I feel like it was while I was training for my 4th half marathon that I started to feel a lot of pain in joints and muscles at first and very
Mm,
tired all the time. And I thought, well, of course, that's what's happening. I'm working full time. I'm
right.
training for the race. I'm teaching yoga. I've got just a lot going on. So when I finish, I'll take a month off and I'll be fine. And then I wasn't fine. And so that's kind of what started me thinking,
Okay.
okay, something else is going on here.
Okay. Okay. Good. Hold on one sec. Let me just connect to your spirit. She said the idea that you were training for a marathon is a very apt analogy for how you were doing your whole life then.
Yeah.
She said you were like running a marathon in every aspect of your life, at work, at home, just pushing yourself to the brink. And she said the inflammation was because the initial inflammation in your body was because when you were tired, when you were stiff and sore, instead of kind of listening to your body and being investigative, okay, what's going on here? You sort of took this like, hard ass coach approach of like, come on, you can do it. You've committed to this. You've got this to do. And it was really kind of a tuned out, callous approach of just putting that pressure on yourself in all the categories, but particularly in working out. And your spirit said it actually caused more inflammation, how hard you were pushing yourself, not just because you're already working a tired body, but because of the internal script was kind of rough, right? You were the
Yeah.
not so nice coach for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And what she says is that caused inflammation and it caused a weakening of your immune system. And so when this germ, this virusy bacteria, whatever kind of thing came along, that you were kind of ripe for the picking because you were so overextended. Okay,
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't mean
makes
it was
sense.
your fault by any stretch, but so, and what she said is that the reason the Lyme diagnosis doesn't quite fit, I'm going to do 2 seconds of medical stuff here, and I'm not a doctor, so please don't hold me to it if this doesn't sound very medically. But my understanding is that Lyme is a spirochete, which is a type of an organism that has these coiled ends that can hook onto both sides of a cell, and that every spirochete isn't Lyme, but Lyme is always a spirochete, and that there are 7 different kinds of spirochetes, one of which is Lyme.
Okay.
And what your spirit says is there's actually more than 7. There's 7 that we have mapped out in Western medicine and have meds to treat. This is one of the others. So it's not technically Lyme, but it has so many similarities. She understands why you tested positive, but it's also why that isn't working.
That makes total sense.
So our best bet here is to use energy to try to stun it and kill it in the body, and then use energy to help move it into your lymphatic system and get it cleaned out.
Okay.
Okay. So you're again, no fault of your doctors for missing that. I don't think there's a test for it, but when I got that visual, I'm like, oh, that's like a spirochete for Lyme, like Lyme-like, right? It's not exactly
Yeah.
Lyme, but it's similar enough in how it operates in the body that it makes sense that it be diagnosed as that.
That makes
So that feels accurate to you?
It really does, because something it was in my gut telling me, there's more to this. I've been drawn to energy work ever since and, trying different things. But I feel stuck because I
Yeah.
don't know which way to go. There's so many different ways to go.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So if you'll stay on after this, again, I thought these were going to be just readings, but now I keep getting these unusual cases where I'm not going to just send you on your way. So if you'll stay on, when the show's over, we'll do some energy work to try to kind of stun those, then kill them. And then I'll talk to you about moving them into your lymph system and getting those flushed out through the body.
Perfect.
But very interesting situation that comes up. And I wonder how many other people, I see this with parasites too. People will travel to other countries and they'll come back with a parasite and their doctor will say, nope, we tested you. You don't have a parasite, but we only have tests for, I don't know, maybe a dozen or 2 dozen parasites. So obviously there's got to be more than that. And we'll end up using energy and killing it. And then they have very unusual looking stools. They're like, clearly something was in there. And
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
so Western medicine makes advances every day, but we can't know everything that's going on in the body. So sometimes something like this can be helpful to fill in those gaps. So
Awesome. Oh, this makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So stay with us, and Amy will probably sign you off there, but hold you off to the side, and then I'll be right with you. So please feel free to join us every weekday this month for live mini readings with Medical Intuitive. That's me, Christine Lang. You can also follow me on Instagram or YouTube, and we're going to post snippets of these, replays of these, so you can catch those there. Thanks for joining us.